Step outside the wall.
This is outside the wall. Outside the wall.
This is Outside the Walls, a podcast about breaking limiting beliefs and building a life that's actually yours. Through conversations about mindset, purpose, and life, I'm Dave Gast. Let's step outside the walls. Let's have a conversation today about having a routine, a system. I've spent a lot of my life believing I needed to feel motivated before I took action. I thought motivation came first, then came the workout, then came the healthy eating, then came the growth. But the older I get, the more I realize I've had it backwards. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you have it, and some mornings you don't. Some mornings you wake up ready to conquer the world, and other days you are looking for a reason to hit snooze. And that's normal. The problem is, if we only do the important things when we feel like doing them, we'll spend most of our lives waiting. Waiting to start, waiting to feel ready, waiting for Monday to come around. I don't think life changes because of motivation. I think life changes because of routines, and eventually those routines become who we are. A few years ago, I started noticing something. The healthiest people I knew weren't obsessed with health. The people with great marriages weren't constantly talking about their relationships. The people who were growing professionally didn't seem stressed out all the time. They weren't trying to optimize every second of their day. They were simply consistent. And I found that surprising because I thought successful people had more willpower. Turns out they had fewer decisions to make. Exercise wasn't something debated with themselves. Date night wasn't something they squeezed in when they had time. And learning wasn't something they got around to. These were things already built into their daily lives. They had systems. And because they had systems, they had freedom. And that was my wake-up call because I didn't need more motivation. Maybe I needed fewer negotiations with myself. I've started looking at routines differently. Routines are not penal. It's permission. It's permission to stop starting over. Because every time we have to make that same decision, we spend energy. Should I work? We ask ourselves, should I work out? Should I call that friend? Should I take that walk? Routines remove the argument, and over time, they create momentum. Health becomes something you do, not something you talk about. Relationships become something you invest in, not something you try to squeeze and fit in. Growth becomes part of who you are, not another item on your to-do list. And the beautiful part is that nobody notices these changes overnight. They're quiet. However, they are life-changing. When I reflect on this, we spend too much time looking for breakthroughs. Maybe what we really are looking for is rhythm. Maybe we're waiting for some giant moment when life usually changes through small moments repeated over time. One walk, one phone call, 1 hour of focused work, one dinner together. Nothing dramatic, simply another brick and another and another. And eventually you stop asking, when am I going to get there? Because you realize something. You're not chasing a life anymore. You are living it. And that's the funny thing about routines. At first, they feel like effort. Then they become habits. Then they become your identity. And one day, almost without noticing, the things you used to force become the things that you naturally do. And maybe that's what we're all after. Not a perfect life, not a bigger life, just a life that's aligned with what matters most. Built quietly, built intentionally, built one day at a time. Because extraordinary lives are rarely created by extraordinary days. They're created by ordinary days repeated with purpose. And that's where life changes, not in the grand moments, but in the quiet ones nobody applauds.
This is outside the wall. Outside the wall.
Until next time, don't underestimate the ordinary. It may be building something extraordinary. I'm Dave Gass. Keep stepping outside the walls.